Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to install the Android N Preview or any stock firmware on your Nexus 6P, Nexus 6, Nexus 5X, and Nexus 9. Let's go do this, baby. Now before we begin, make sure you back up everything. This method may erase everything on your phone. Alright, before we do this, make sure your Nexus device is rooted and has an unlocked bootloader. Make sure you unlock the bootloader. If you don't know how to do that first before you begin this tutorial. Anyway, let's begin. Hi guys, this will work on all the Nexus devices. This is also the same method if you want to go back to Android 6 Marshmallow, or if you want to update your phone with regular stock firmware. This is the exact same method, all right? Just the firmware files are different. First thing you will do is obviously power off your phone or tablet. All right, power it off. And then we're gonna go ahead and hold down the volume down and the power button, all right, for both phone and tablet. So volume down and tablet, hold it for a couple seconds. All right, until you see this Android guy with belly up like that. You're gonna next go ahead and connect it to your computer via micro USB cable or USB Type-C. In this case, I'm using a Nexus 6P. All right, and then let's go to our computer. First thing you'll wanna do is you'll need to download a bunch of files. Go to the site developer.android.com preview/download.html. If you go down here, you'll be able to download the latest Android N for Nexus 5X, Nexus 6P, Nexus 6, all these devices, all right? So go ahead and download. I'm using Nexus 6P in this case, so I downloaded Nexus 6P, which is a file with Angler. That's the code name for the Nexus 6P. Now you can, if you want to go back later to the regular Marshmallow, you can go ahead and go to Android firmware download. Just Google it, and you will also come to factory image for Nexus devices. This is where you can download the official versions here. So later on, if you want to go back to 6.0.1 Marshmallow, just go ahead and download the latest one here. But the installation is exactly the same, all right? Just the firmware is different. Also, you'll need to go and download USB driver if you're using Windows. You can also use Mac or Linux. Just you won't need drivers for that, so you don't need drivers. So skip drivers if you're using Mac or Linux. If you're using Windows, go ahead and download USB driver.zip. Unzip it. You'll get a folder with all these files. Next, you will also need the Angler here. This is the file I just downloaded, the firmware. This one below is for Nexus 5X. Bullhead is for Nexus 5X because I'm also going to install on my Nexus 5X. Also, you'll need fastboot.zip. Go ahead and download this and unzip it, and you'll get a bunch of files. It's got all of the files you need for Mac, Linux, and Windows. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and install this. The first thing you'll need to do is install the drivers. If you're using Windows, go ahead and go to your control panel, hardware and sound, and go to your device manager. And if you don't have Android ADB interface, if you have something like this with the exclamation mark Android, go ahead and double click on it, update driver. Now follow this exactly, all right? Don't do search automatically. Go to browse my computer for driver software. Do not use this. Let me pick from a list of device drivers, then choose show all devices, and then do have disk. If you don't do this, sometimes Windows will not find it and it'll say it's incompatible, and then you're gonna keep asking me about why my driver isn't installing. Next, you're gonna go to download folder and go into your USB driver folder. You unzip the files earlier too. Select Android Win USB, hit open, hit OK. You'll have a bunch of options. Choose the first one, Android ADB interface. Choose next, say yes, close, and you're done. Android ADB interface. All right, this is very important. As long as you see that, you're good to go. You can close out of that. All right, let me go ahead and close out of this so you can see better. Next, what you want to do is go to start, go to search and type CMD. All right, just open up a command prompt. Also a terminal for if you're using a Mac or Linux. If you don't know how, please Google it. Next, we're gonna go ahead and type cd download. Oops, like that. downloads, one of the things you can do is type CD and then the first file name. All right, I'll show you. Next, we're gonna go ahead and type CD fast like that and hit the tab key and it will fill it out for you. So CD fast boot. All right, and for Mac or Linux, go ahead and use the substitute code for all of this. I'll have it on my site, so check my tutorial for Mac or Linux. Once you're in this directory, we're gonna go ahead and type, oh, sorry, I forgot the most important step. You're gonna have to also unzip the file. It's in .tgz format. The easiest way to do this is download 7-zip. All right, I think I have 7-zip on here. Nope, where's my 7-zip? All right, 7-zip file manager. All right, if you open up 7-zip file manager, if you double click on your firmware file, the .tgz file, all right, you'll get a tar file here. So go ahead and extract this. All right, hit OK. And this will extract it into a .tar file. Now that's another compression. If you don't see a bunch of files, you'll have to extract it again. So go back out to download directory, go up one level. Now you should have angler.tar, angler blah blah.tar, or whatever your firm name. So go ahead and double click on that and then extract this. And I'm gonna hit OK. And this will extract it into your download folder. Now when we go back to our download folder, you'll find a folder called Angular-NPC9K, or whatever the firmware name it is, the beginning of it. All right, you'll find image blah blah.zip, radio blah blah.img, and bootloader blah blah.img. This is same on all Nexus devices. All right, these 3 files we're gonna go ahead and flash. So we're gonna go back to, actually, we're gonna go ahead and copy these 3 files, bootloader angler, image angler, radio angler. Go ahead and do right click, copy. We're gonna go back to the fast boot folder under downloads directory. Go ahead and right click, paste. All right, this will paste all the files. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and go back to the fast boot folder. We're gonna go ahead and type fast boot space flash space bootloader space boot, type boot and then hit the tab key. All right, if you hit the tab key, it'll fill out the actual file name so you don't miss it. All right, I mean you can just type it all out, but it's going to be different for whatever device you have, whatever firmware you have. So best thing is just type boot, hit the tab key on your keyboard, and it will fill it out for you. Hit enter. And if you can see OK, you're good to go. Next, we're gonna go ahead and type fastboot space reboot dash bootloader. This will reboot the bootloader. And let me go ahead and show you while that's doing that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit enter. And that will reboot your bootloader. All right, you'll go back to the Android belly up. All right, next you're gonna go ahead and type fastboot space -w space update space type img and hit the tab key. This will fill out the zip file for you. All right, this is the img image.zip file. Go ahead and enter again, and this will flash the image file. Okay, it says base version is Angular dash. All right, we're supposed to actually flash the radio, so we're gonna we should have done do this instead. Go ahead and type, if it didn't work, go ahead and type fastboot space flash space radio space. If it worked also, you're good to go. Just go ahead and flash the radio. Go ahead and type radio like that and hit the tab key, and it will fill out the radio image file. Go ahead and hit enter. Now I failed it because I was actually supposed to do the radio first. So I'm gonna go ahead and type fastboot space reboot dash bootloader. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and flash the image file again. Now if you hit the arrow key up, you can go back to the commands you typed earlier. So this is what I want: fastboot -w update image angler dash npc 91k. Go ahead and enter. Since it failed the first time, we're gonna reflash it. This is actually the firmware file. So what we did, we flashed the radio bootloader, all right, and then now we're flashing the firmware. So this should take like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna let it go for a little bit. Now with, I think, Nexus 6P, you may have to use this thing called W Fast Boot, which I also have in here. I believe, yes, no, sorry, M Fast Boot for the Motorola devices, just because the way it works. If it fails for Nexus 6, go ahead and use M Fast Boot. All you have to do is enter M Fast Boot. It's the same command, M Fast Boot minus W update, and then the image file name. All right, that can happen on the Nexus 6, and on the Nexus 6P, I don't think it will happen because it's not based on Motorola. Motorola decided to do things different with the Nexus devices, so that's why I've included M Fast Boot in here for all Linux, Mac, and Linux. Sorry, Mac, Linux, and Windows. And I will also include that fix for the Nexus 6 if you guys are using Nexus 6 to install factory firmwares. But this is pretty much the same method used for all Nexus devices to install a factory firmware. What we're doing is installing a factory firmware. Nothing less, nothing more. This is how you install any kind of Nexus firmware. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and let this finish. Alright guys, so it finished. It took total time of 123 seconds, 347. And my phone is rebooting, and you should have, I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit because it may take a while. Let me go ahead and take it out. You don't need it on there. Let me get a little Android chair for it. And that way, go have a coffee break real quick while you guys watch the time lapse of this loading. All right guys, it's been 10 minutes. I think it's taking a little bit too long. So I'm gonna show you how to reset it, do a factory reset. I think I will have to do it. So go ahead and hold down volume down and power, all right, until your phone resets. And this will get you into the fast boot mode right here, all right? Once you're back in fast boot mode, go ahead and choose recovery mode, hit the power button, and we're gonna go ahead and do a factory reset. Sometimes the encryption thing can mess things up, that's why it's not booting. If it doesn't boot for more than 10 minutes, you can go into the factory reset here. This is stock recovery. To access the menus, I think it's volume up and down, or it could be like, it's, try pressing volume down or up. Yeah, where is it? I'll give it a second here. Oh, there we go. So try different combos until it works. What you're gonna do is go down to wipe data factory reset. This will erase everything on your phone, all right? But you should have backed up everything anyways. All right, if something goes wrong, you can do this and go ahead and just click power button, reboot system now. Now it should boot just fine. All right, so I'm gonna leave this alone, let it boot, and we should be good. All right guys, so that didn't take too long. It only took like 3 minutes to boot up. So I got it boot up here. And let me go ahead and sign in real quick. And boom shakalaka, baby. So I've got Android N finally installed on my Nexus 6P. Wow, the settings looks a little bit different. You can see the memory there. About phone and Android N. And boom shakalaka. All right, folks. And you should now have Android N installed. And did the game change? No, it's still Marshmallow. Aw, man. They didn't update this game yet. Anyway, That's how you install it. And thanks guys for watching this video. You should now have Android N preview running on your Nexus 6P, Nexus 6, Nexus 9, whatever. And you can also use this method to install any stock firmware on all the Nexus devices, including like the Nexus 6, Nexus 5, even the older Nexus devices. Anyway, have a great day. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Instagram, Periscope, and as always, stay on Android.
Click here to subscribe.
All right, perfect.